And here we are, somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why it takes so long for this thing to go on, because evidently, if everybody's here, nope, nobody's here. No one. No one is here. I'm here all alone, uh, by myself. Actually, I got two viewers. I don't know who they are, because it takes forever for this thing to kick on and start giving me the analytics. But hello to whoever's there. Ah, there we go. There's Kevin. Hey, Jessica. There's Jessica. Hey, Beth. How we doing? Thanks. I was getting kind of scared here. The remote studios, as clean and refined as it looks, can tend to make some scary noises at night when you're here by yourself. So, um, I think one of the things I would like to do, I would love to do a horror hump days from a haunted house. That would be cool. Um, I don't know how I would go about even like an abandoned house. That would be cool, especially this story because this story is all about a an evil house. So that lightning was something today. Kept waiting to get a phone call from the main office telling us our shit got struck by lightning, but that never happened. Yes, Beth, that would be totally cool, right? Hey, how's it going, Bobby? Good to see you. Glad you're not laying on the street. That, yeah, that was funny. I like the comments on your photo there, but anyhow, welcome everybody to Horror Hump Days, where every Wednesday I, your gracious host and favorite son of Winthrop, Bobby, um, I read you guys one of my published works, and we are currently on a book that I published in 2023 called Pavor Nocturnus. I don't know why I hesitated there. It's called Pavor Nocturnus, which is fancy Latin for night terrors. Um, the book was produced partly by the prompts that readers out there. No Sleep Wednesday. That's right, Kev. Did that hurt, Bobby? I'm sorry, buddy. I'll give you a hug when I see you next. Um, is it was brought about by folks like you. Actually, you just gave me prompts about their scariest nightmares, and I made stories out of them. Um, we've been dealing with my own nightmares that I put in there. A little boy that was being haunted by the devil. Um, Another one from a friend of mine, Pam, and that one was about the Antichrist and partly syphilis. Um, Another one was from Stephanie, and that was about a fever dreams she was having when she was young and being attacked by starfish. Another one was from my friend Alex, which was about a witches. He was dealing with witches and New Orleans and all that stuff. Another one was from a friend of mine, Linda. She's dealing with werewolves. And another one was from a friend, Lori, who was dealing with a maniac chasing her through the house when she was little with a chainsaw. And for some reason, there was a hot tub in their house, which evidently there wasn't in real life. Um, and another one was from my friend Lynette, and that was about she sent me a nightmare of her when she was younger, and she had heard some creepy noises coming from the basement of a funeral home where she was at a wake with her cousins. Hey Chuck, you brought a new batch of badgers and one fartin' bee. Thank you very much, sir. Um, so we are at chapter 10, which is the last chapter of this book. Um, It's a rather lengthy chapter. This one was brought about by my friend Joe, and AKA Pimo. And it was the nightmare was he had a dream that he got woken up by some ghost kid, and the ghost kid told him that he had to go through this little door that appeared in the wall and save all these people in this haunted house that was on the other side of this door. And I thought that tied it all together very well. Um, and so we are on part two of that chapter tonight. Joe has accepted his role as Wacizik, which is Polish for savior. And it's somebody that guards the realm between the land of Nod, which is the land of dreams and nightmares, from the land of lucidity, which is the waking world which we live in now. Um, and he's going around saving the dreamers from the book we have been reading for the last few months. He has saved young Brandon from the devil, and now he'll be coming up on our next dreamer. So, before I get into the reading, though, I wanted to say a few words to you folks. I don't. I didn't do this to be a viral personality. I didn't do this to be an influencer. I do this because it's a way to interact with a lot of my friends that I don't get to normally talk to on a daily basis. Um, it's also a way for me to share what I do with you guys. One of those things is my writing, and if this is a way that I can get my writing to you guys, which I know some of you, the person that influenced the chapter we're reading right now, said he cannot sit down and read a book, but he has listened to all my books since I started doing this thing, and he's really enjoyed them. But I also want to thank you guys for helping grow this channel, because I did not put any effort into making this thing huge or big. All that has happened from you guys, and I really appreciate that. Bobby, you've brought a lot of people to this page. Steph has brought a lot of people to the podcast and this page. Um, a lot of you have invited your friends, and I keep encouraging you guys. If you like what I do on here, and you know somebody that would get a kick out of what we do on here, please send them over here. Everybody's welcome. I try not to do anything political on any of my stuff, because I think that singles people out. I think we're divided enough without me hosting a page that promotes that. I don't want to promote that. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you support. What I care about is that you guys are here. And it shouldn't be about politics. And you guys should have a safe space to come to and not have to worry about hearing about it. That being said, I'm going to shut up about it now. So, but no, this is a place to get scared, to laugh, to enjoy some music, and all that stuff. And I appreciate the folks that have come here that support me. I appreciate the folks that have bought my books. I appreciate the folks that come see my shows, come see mine and Bobby's shows. And yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. It's been a lot of fun. Soon I'm going to be able to get into writing mode. I don't know when that is. But right now I'm in serious study mode. The EMT stuff has finally clicked in my head. It was weird how it happened. I was doing some study packets and everything just kind of click, and I go, oh, this makes sense now. This is what this means, and this is what that means. So I've been trying to go with it and keep it in my brain fresh, and I also want to honor Well, not only the city of Winthrop that paid for me to take these courses, um, but also Ridgewater College, who is paying for me to take the refresher courses and give me a second chance at getting my EMT certification. Um, so when people do favors like that for me, um, I tend to want to honor that. So, anyways, all seriousness aside, thank you guys. I have a lot of fun with you guys. The regulars, it's always awesome to see a new face pop up on the comments. Um, if you're new here, please drop a hello, an emoji waving at me, emoji flipping me off, whatever floats your boat. But just say hi. Let me know where you're from, whatever. Wherever you're hearing this from. It's been a bit of a challenge doing this because Facebook seems to do a lot of things to stop you from building your page. Again, I still can't. I'm only allowed to invite 50 people on my friends list to these events. And for some reason, it won't let me invite anybody else after 50. Um, you guys evidently can invite as many people as you want. That's weird to me, but oh, whatever. Um, Another thing that they've done now is they delete these live videos after 30 days. So if I don't get them downloaded the night of and put on my computer and then downloaded onto YouTube, these nights are gone. These live streams or podcasts or whatever you want to call them, they're gone forever. So I have lost a few that I wasn't able to download or forgot to download or whatever, whatnot, and they're gone now. So I got to keep on top of that. Also, I've been using. I hate AI. I really do hate AI. I think it takes away from the artists and from the writers. Um, that being said, I do use AI for creating the little short promo blurbs for each chapter night. So am I a hypocrite? Yeah. It's more out of necessity and convenience. And Stephanie has offered to um, draw promos for me, but it's very lengthy and it's a lengthy process, and I got to pump these things out really quick. So, and the process to get them from paper to here is it takes a lot. But thank you so much. Steph has also done a lot of things to brighten up the studio at home. Um, she's done paintings for me. She got this really cool wind chime because I'm a wind chime guy, and it's a beehive with little bees on it, and then it's got the chimes on it that look like dripping honey. It's pretty fucking awesome, and I was gonna take a picture of it the other day, but the wind had knocked it down, and I didn't want to hang it and break it because it's beautiful. But I'll have to snap a photo of that and put it on here for you guys to look at. It's really cool. But yeah, she's done some great stuff. She actually did the artwork for the back cover of this book that we're reading now. So, yeah, when I can use somebody that's with the talents and stuff, and there's time and it works, man, I would rather do that than do um, AI. It made me really angry to see advertisements on Facebook for. It's like, do you want to publish a book? Well, you can use this program, put in your ideas, and it'll write the whole book for you. And I'm like, that shit pisses me off. I write a lot of angry comments on ads like that. So, anyways, I am done rambling for now. And I suppose we should probably get into the story. It's a short one tonight. So that's why I took the time to talk to you guys for a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna be a short time. I decided to break down this chapter into dreamers. So Joe, our hero Joe Salinsky, uh, I had to give you the intro to him, and then he saved the first dreamer, and now tonight he'll be saving another dreamer, and I think that's the way I'll break it down because it'll give us a little more time on here. I'm kind of stretching this out because I'm out of material after this book, and then we got to think of something different. But until then, we're just going to break it down into dreamers. So tonight he'll be saving another dreamer, and then we'll move on to another dreamer next week. So that way Kevin can get to bed early because I know he likes to go to bed early, and maybe Kate will comfort him so he can go to sleep tonight. Always thinking of you guys. All right. All right, we ready? Let's do it. Christmas stories. I did tell that one horror Christmas story, and I do have another one coming up, so there we go. Drinking water tonight, so tonight's story is brought to you by H2O, some high quality H2O, don't you know? Kate doesn't like you? Well, kind of can't really blame her for that. That's why you got to come on Tunes for Tuesday with me and Bobby, and maybe if she sees your skills on the recorder, she might be throwing some underwear at you, buddy. Just saying, trying to help you out. I mean, it hasn't worked for me and Bobby yet, but you never know. You never know. All right, let's jump in. Joe takes a dirt nap, chapter 10, part dos. After the boy had vanished, Joe stood up and took his own deep breath. The walls and the rafters above seemed to rattle and creak. Dust puffed out of ancient cracks in the foundation. Great, he thought. The damn roof is going to come down on my head. At the end of the hallway, to his left, was what looked like an elevator door. He walked up to it and touched its metallic surface. There were no buttons near or levers. Open, he whispered. There was a rattle and hum of gears and pistons moving about. Then the doors slid open, and hot desert heat gushed out. A scent of sweat and rot invaded his nose. As he slowly entered the room, he realized he was in some form of cell. The strong odor of excrement wafted from a rusty bucket in the corner of the room. Lying on the ground was a woman who looked like she had been beaten, clothed in a tattered smock that was so stained its original color was lost. Jesus Christ, lady, are you okay? He kneeled beside her. She moaned and coughed, spits out a wad of blood and mucus. Do I look okay? She mutters. A small grin touches the corner of his cheek. Well, you need to wake up. Well, you need to fuck off. Haven't you people had your way with me enough? Fuck off. Go pound sand, eat shit, bark at the moon. I don't care what you do. Just leave me the fuck alone. No, I don't think you understand. I don't know what you've been through, but I'm here to help you. Well, you're too late. No, I'm not. You just need to wake up. Look around. Does this look like any place you want to be awake in? The large metal door to the cell begins to thrum, and with a menacing hiss it slides open. 2 armored soldiers come in carrying large poles that have electrical arcing tips. Get up, bitch, one of them said. Time to meet the potentate. Eat shit, the woman spat. The soldier hit her with the electrical rod, and bright blue fingers of electricity coursed throughout her body. She seized up as the other soldier hit her with his weapon, intensifying the charge. Joe ran at them and tackled one into the other. Joe knocked one unconscious, and the other was trying to hit him with the electric prod. He was able to block it and hold on to it. While they both struggled for control over the weapon, the woman rolled over and spotted the other staff lying beside the unconscious soldier. "Give me a hand, will you?" Joe grunted. She swung the rod into the nape of the soldier's neck, and sparks exploded above Joe's head. He could see blue flames spark from the soldier's eye sockets, and then he dropped on top of him. "Nice job," he said, pushing the soldier's body off him. She held the staff in Joe's face, electricity snapping and popping inches from him. He put his hands up. My name's Joe." "The fuck are you doing here, Joe? Are you here to help me? Or are you another plant here to trick me?" "No, I'm really here to help you." "Who sent you?" My grandma?" "Your what?" "Never mind, it's crazy. Look, all of this, it's a dream or a nightmare. None of this here is real." She lowered her staff, still crackling with electricity. The bodies of the two soldiers turned into bubbling puddles of tar. "What the fuck is going on?" she said, and fear came back into her eyes. "It's gonna be okay," Joe said. "I don't know how long you've been asleep, but there's something that keeps you in this nightmare, and it kind of feeds off of it." "Are you telling me all this torture I've endured, the people I've seen die in the most tragic ways, the years I've lived, they're all just nightmares?" The cell door rumbled, and the heavy metal door fell onto the floor, splattering the mess that was once soldiers. A tall man of Latin descent stood silhouetted in the doorway. He wore a white designer suit, which he was adjusting the tie. His face was blanketed in shadows, except for a faint red glow where his eyes should be. "Who are you?" the man asked. Joe looked at him, wondering what new kind of hell this was that was being introduced to him. "Did you hear me? I asked you who you... His name is Joe," the woman said, and stabbed at the man in white with her staff. "You motherfucker!" The man in white grabbed on to the end of the staff that was charged. Blue fingers of electricity ripped up his arm. He threw his head back and moaned in pleasure. He pulled the staff from the woman's grasp and tossed it to the side. "Oh, Pamela," the man smiled at her. "It excites me to see you so defiant, only to have your hopes crushed in the palm of my hand." Joe looks over at her. Who's this guy?" "He's a piece of shit that..." With the wave of his hand, he cuts off her sentence, and she is pushed back into the wall. "I am Potentiate Bestia de la Luz," the man says with some annoyance. "I am the savior of this world. I am the Alpha and the Omega." Joe kneels to help Pam up. "So, this guy is a douchebag with a god complex?" he asks her. "That's about right," she says, wiping blood from her mouth. Bestia grabs Joe by the hair and pulls him up to face him. "I don't know who you are," he says to him, eyes beginning to flare a more intense red than before. But you do not belong here. I will suggest you leave now, before I need to re-educate you. Pam rushes at Delaluz, but is slapped and she flies into the wall again. You're a fake, Joe says defiantly. Perhaps you need to know your place in this world, Joseph. Bestia carries Joe by the hair to a metal rack. Robotic arms swing down and lock his wrists and pull his arms above his head. Bestia then releases his hair and walks towards Pam, who is lying on the ground trying to get up. Go ahead, Miss Rothstein. Get up. Delaluz produces a glowing blue cube from thin air. It pulsates like a heartbeat. He's not real, Pam, Joe says. He knows what you fear. Silence! I do know what she fears, Joseph. Don't I? Pam's eyes widen and she shakes her head. Joe can see the battle-wear look on her face, and in her body begins to tense up. Don't let him do this to you. I don't know what's in that fucking blue box, but it can't hurt you. Oh, can't it? Delaluz tosses the blue cube at Pam. It immediately combusts into living flame. The flame coils around her as she tries to crawl away from it, screaming. She has a crippling fear of fire, as you can see. It fascinates me how someone so strong in spirit can be paralyzed with fear by something so simple. Her screams are almost more than Joe can handle, more than he can bear to hear. If you promise to leave, Joseph, I will release her. Her skin begins to blister. The nodules of skin pop and blacken. The layers of flesh peel back, revealing cooking muscle and charring bone. Stop this, motherfucker! This is totally up to you, Joseph. Stop interfering with me and leave. Go back to the land of lucidity. Pam! Joe shouts. The flames are not real. The pain is not real. You just need to wake the fuck up. You can do this. No, Bestia says. She can't. I can't, she says. Her screaming has stopped, and she is only crying through a singed tear ducts. I just can't, Joe. The fuck you can't? You're doing it! What? She asks. She realizes the pain is waning, and the sweet, sickening smell of her flesh has left. Your pain is gone because all your nerve... Your pain is gone because all your nerve endings have burnt to a crisp, you stupid cow. Bestia begins to sound desperate. The pain flutters back to her, and she screams again. No! She smashes her nearly skeletal hands onto the concrete floor. This is not real! Bestia backs up from her, and then stares with narrowing eyes at Joe, who is smiling from his rack. Stop this! Bestia growls. Stop this, damn you! I'm not doing shit. It's all her. The smile beneath Joe's beard angers him. Delaluz produces another cube, but it bursts into a black mist and wisps away. You'll never free her, Joseph, he says to Joe. The rack was holding Joe began to melt into the same black fluid that the soldiers were made up of. Joe lands on his feet and punches Bestia in the face. No one calls me Joseph but my Nana, douchebag. Pam's flesh begins to heal. The flames are still licking at the air around her, but they are losing their intensity. You're doing it, girl. Delaluz growls, and the entire room begins to quake. I'll tear your souls apart, he snaps. Pam punches her fist deep into his chest and rips out his heart. It beats frantically and begins to turn into ash and disintegrate through her fingers. Bestia crumples and falls into a splash of wet soot. Let's get out of here, Joe says, taking her hand. They run out of the doorway, and it vanishes, almost closing them up within the walls. The house is shaking again. Beams are falling around them, and the floor undulates beneath them. You need to wake up now, Joe says. What about you? Pam asks. There's others I need to free. Please, hurry. I don't know how long this house is going to hold together. Well, do I pinch myself? How do I wake up? Close your eyes and take a deep breath. What? Just do it. Pam closes her eyes tight and sucks in a gulp of stale, dusty air, almost coughing when she does. Now hold it. When I count to 3, I need you to open your eyes. Got it? She nods. 1, 2, 3. She opens one eye and sees Joe standing there flabbergasted and opens the other. Well, what the fuck, Joe? She asks. Oh, shit. I don't know. He shakes his head. Am I stuck in here? Oh, Jesus, am I stuck in this fucking hell? Joe surprises her with the back of his hand. A bright flash of light in her head, and she opens her eyes. The fuck? She says, sitting up, coughing. She looks around as her eyes begin to focus. She's in her bedroom. An oxygen monitor attached to her index finger, and an EKG machine monitoring her heartbeat. Her youngest son, sitting by her, jumps in his seat and almost falls to the ground. Mom? He screams. That son of a bitch hit me, she says. Derek! Her son yells. Derek, come in here! Her oldest son comes running into the room. What the fuck's going on? Her son sees his mother awake and sitting up in bed. Mom? What are y'all looking at? Pam says to them. You've been out of it for damn near a month, her oldest says, sitting on the bed beside her. I thought we were going to lose you. Well, why didn't you take me to the hospital or call an ambulance? Because we know how you feel about doctors, Mom. You weren't bleeding or anything. We just found you sleeping and we couldn't wake you up. We had a doctor come out here and check on you. Where's my cigs? Maybe quit smoking, Mom. Please? She looked angrily at them, but then softened, seeing the concern in their eyes. I guess I probably should. I haven't smoked since I fell asleep, which has been a month. I guess I can try it awake. The boys smiled at one another. Get me a water or something. Jesus, I'm parched as hell. When Derek returned with a glass of ice water, he asked, Who hit you? What? She said, taking large gulps. When you woke up, you said someone hit you. Oh, that was Joe. Joe? You dreaming about boyfriends again, Mom? Pam slapped him on the arm. The house shook like a dog wriggling the wet out of its coat. That fucking thing had taken another morsel from its lips. There was a hint of fear that tingled within its void, and it turned into anger. The anger boiled and rattled the foundation. The house needed to rid itself of this parasite. It was losing precious nourishment. Delectable horrors played out within its walls. But how? This thing named Joe, had to have a weakness. Somewhere, deep within his mind, there must be a raw fear that is like an overripe fruit ready to burst open with maggots. The house must be ready. It must hold tight to the nectar-bearing fruit that currently hung in its orchard. Traps. It must set traps for this thing called Joe. There must be something to ensnare him in his fears. There must be. The floorboards were beginning to shatter beneath his feet and fall into a fathomless basement. He leapt from board to board until the house stopped and the floor solidified at the end of another hall. And that, my friends, is the end of tonight's story, part 2. Join me next week for part 3, where he will be coming to rescue. That chapter's a little longer. I think that one's going to take all hour. But, oh, Maya, sorry you showed up late. You can always watch this. I usually download it. I will have it downloaded on YouTube. The link to my YouTube page is on here. But I think you can watch the video on here. At least for 30 days you can, and then they delete it. So, but thank you for coming, by the way. Late or not, thank you very much for showing up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That one was short but sweet. There's a... Yeah, there was... So, the creation of that dream, which I named Armageddon and Syphilis, it was such a weird prompt. The prompt was, I had a nightmare where I was tied up in chains, and there was a Latino guy who handed me 3 glowing blue cubes, and I had to pick one of them or I was going to die. And then I found out later that the cubes were actually the way I was going to die. I was going to die one way or the other. And so I picked one, and it was syphilis, and it gave me syphilis, and that's how I died in the dream. And I'm like, wow, where am I going to go with that one? But anyhow, that's how that story happened. So please join me next week, 8 p.m. Again, and we will be we'll be diving back into chapter 10 for part 3. It was good. Maya, you're going to have to watch the beginning. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. You'll have to go back to the beginning. Well, thank you, Chuck. Thanks. I know when I first started reading stories on this thing, I wasn't putting a whole lot of effort into it. I was just reading it, and then I started listening to audiobooks, and I was like, holy shit, this is just acting on the radio, really, is all it is. So I had to put some personality into each voice, which is why I usually pre-read these chapters or chunks so that I can find a voice for each character. So that's kind of how that happens. Because I want this to be enjoyable for you guys. Remind me to never take blue cubes from you. Now I know what you're getting for Christmas, buddy. Good, Jessica. I'm glad you liked it. And thank you, Chuck, for the comment. Thank you all for coming out here. Please, if you guys have a chance or you guys are available, I know it's a work night for most people. But 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the Pavilion at the McLeod County Fairgrounds. Uh, Broken Bird and Wild Hair are going to be out there. That's me and Bobby. We'll be out there playing from 6 to 9, I think it is. I don't know. I got the event. The event is up on the page, and there's all details on there. There's also other musicians are going to be there. Not tomorrow night, but for the rest of the weekend, there's other musicians. Um, there's one that's going to be there that I've listened to before. I did security for a summer cookout for a bar that had opened in town or in Green Isle, and it was Bill Litzow. Um, he will be there on Saturday afternoon, and I highly recommend going to see him. Um, Beautiful voice, very talented musician. Um, he's very akin to Chris Stapleton. Um, but yes, also Trisky Duo is going to be playing out there. They're a new friend here of the b.hive, and they are just like Wild Hair and myself. One plays a cajon, one plays a guitar, and they sing. They will also be out there. I would suggest hitting their. I should have put a link on here for their page, but you should hit them up. Um, they're very good too. So Jessica agrees about, yeah, 'twas groovy. It will fit well with the thunder, lightning, and scared German Shepherd you got going on at home. Yeah, yeah, that would go good. So anyhow, yeah, check out so Trisky Duo and Bill Litz are the two musicians that I know that are playing this weekend at the Orange Spectacular. If you can't make it tomorrow night, totally understand, but do stop out there. I've never been there. It's my first year going there. Um, but there's going to be vendors out there. It's all about Alice Chalmers tractors, and if you're a fan of them, then you're going to love it out there. If you're not a fan and you just want to check it out, because tractors are pretty cool, especially the really old ones, head out there for that, or check out the vendors. Check out the music that's going to be out. There's free music all weekend, so I would suggest coming on out there and giving us a visit. I'm in awe of the size of the stage that Bobby and I are going to be playing on tomorrow night, because holy cow, it's big, very big, and it's just him and I, so that should be interesting. Anyhow, there is that. And I think the next project for Bobby and I is going to be the rooftop concert from the roof of Winthrop Mercantile. And we're going to be working on that song list next. And of course, we got Tunes for Tuesday next week, maybe. I always say maybe because sometimes I'm always like, I should really get this done instead of do Tunes for Tuesday. And yeah, but anyway, that might be happening. But for sure, Horror Hump Day will be back next week. And yes, I suggest going back and listening to chapter 1 and following it all the way through, because the chapter we're on now ties all of those together and kind of gives you the backstory of what's going on in chapter 10. So, but thank you guys so much for coming out. You know damn well I love all of you, and I appreciate everything you do for me, and I hope to see you either tomorrow night or we'll see you next Tuesday for sure. All right? Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Mwah. Love you. And I hope to see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. It's always funny when I try to hit the end live video button and it's not a touch screen. It's old school. I'm going to use a mouse.